First and 10 for Seattle on their own 46-yard line. They started on their 35. Remember, they made that big fourth down play to keep the drive alive and keep the ball. 13 minutes left in the game, and Seattle leading by a touchdown. Second man is Moore, hit and buried by Fultz. So Mike Fultz, 3 years out of Nebraska, making the tackle.
I'm sure that Pater's thinking on going for that 4th and inches in his own territories, that our strength is our offense. We're having trouble stopping them on defense, so we'll gamble and take the chance and try to keep the ball away from Archie Manning and company.
So second down and 8. The ball on the Seattle 48-yard line. Moore goes out. There's Sam McCullum testing his right hand. Remember, he tripped and fell down, and Hughes stuck him to make sure he stayed down, and he twisted his hand. Largent in motion. There's Dorning, and a bear hug by Fetterspiel brings him down.
You know, Vin, what the Seattle team does, they line Largent up in various positions. They send him in motion. They do everything they can to get him one-on-one and use his good hands and his quickness to get open. Now, that time he was lined up at left halfback in the backfield, and they sent him in motion.
And it's paid off because Largent has caught 8 passes for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. 3rd and 7 on the 49. Rabel is wide left, McCullum in a slot inside Largent right. And it's Moore and Dorning behind Zorn. Zorn under some heat, and the ball is deflected, but Reibel catches it, and Tom Myers brings him down.
Well, they had a good rush on. Zorn barely got the ball off. Real good pressure. And usually that underneath pattern is not going to pick up 7, 8, 9 yards.
We'll see if we can spot the hand that might have deflected it. Might have been Tom Hughes, 54, Pat Hughes, and it was an end-over-end ball that was finally caught. The whistle is blown on that squeaker going back to Herman Weaver.
Officials blew the whistle as the ball was trickling back.
No play.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just indicated no play. So on a 4th and 6 from midfield, Seattle will have Herman Weaver punting and Wes Chandler standing all alone on his 11-yard line. Weaver has been averaging a little bit better than 40 yards a punt, his longest 60 this year. Standing on his own 35. And it's blocked by Holmes, and it will be recovered by Seattle.
It doesn't make any difference
on a 4th down.
Right.
Coder fell on the ball, but it is Holmes, number 45, who broke through to block it, and it's a big play for Jack Holmes. 2 years out of Texas Southern to smother Weaver's kick.
Well, we were talking about this at breakfast, that Thunderfoot has had 3, 4, 5 punts blocked this year. Here he is. He's in there. Nobody picked him up. He used a good technique. Here it is again. He's right in, gets both hands on the ball. Seattle recovered, but it doesn't make any difference.
By trying harder to be faster, Avis came up with the Wizard of Avis.
Keep on trying, America. The effort is really everything. We keep on trying, America.
By trying harder, we introduce speed to the rent-a-car business.
At Avis, we don't give up. Trying.
We put a car in a cold room at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 hours later, minus 20. 8 hours later, minus 30. And it still starts. The Die Hard, the battery that lives up to its name. Only at Sears.
Down in the crouch there, number 45, Jack Holmes, who played briefly at Houston, also British Columbia, 2 years out of Texas Southern, and he has just come up with a big play to block Herman Weaver's punt. That's the 3rd Weaver punt blocked this year. Atlanta blocked 2. So it's 1st and 10 on the Seattle 34-yard line. Archie Manning now looking for a touchdown to get even. And there goes Tony Galbraith to about the 25. He almost lost the ball. He bobbled it momentarily, but then regrouped.
Yes, he did. Looked like he was going to fumble, and then he put it away. That was a good call by Manning. Straight ahead now. The Saints have to take advantage of that play if they're going to get back in the ballgame. You can't let a block punt go down the drain without putting points on the board.
2nd and 1 on the 25-yard line. Chandler wide left. Harris right. Harris in motion. And it is Galbraith spinning as he is grabbed by Tuiasosopo, and he picks up the first down at the 21-yard line.
They sent 82 Ike Harris in motion. I was always worried about Ike Harris in this area of the field because of his height. He could take the ball away from one of our small corners if the quarterback laid it up there, and Jim Hart used to do that.
Harris is listed at 6'3". So 1st and 10 on the Seattle 21. There's Ike Harris, flank wide left, and Chandler right. Manning on a draw, and Muncie looking for daylight. And on his own, he fumbles. Manning recovered. Archie Manning recovers the fumble on the 19-yard line.
Well, you know, this happens when watch 42, Muncie, when you're trying to fight for extra yardage and you're spinning and you're turning. See how that ball's exposed? Now he puts it in the other arm. Now he loses it. Usually backs that are fighting for that extra yardage will fumble like that. And Archie Manning, to his credit, was following the play. Some quarterbacks stand around. Archie was following the play, made a big recovery.
They picked up 2 yards, so it is 2nd and 8 on the 19. Manning got it off, and he got Henry Childs, and the big tight end goes inside the 1.
Well, you know, Vin, on that play, he wanted 89, and they doubled 89. They rolled weak to Chandler's side, and right away Manning came off. He knew that Childs was going to be one-on-one.
Keith Simpson injured on the play.
On Simpson's. Real good reading and keen by Manning.
I think what happened, Simpson in throwing more of a block on Childs to tackle him, and as he went down, Terry Beeson came right over on top of him, and so Simpson shaken up. Keith, their first-round draft choice, and he'll come off and go to the pits for repairs. And for New Orleans, a big reception by Henry Childs makes it 1st and goal from the 1. So they were thwarted earlier on a 4th and 1 that busted on the 23 of Seattle. Now they're 1st and goal in the 1, driving for a chance to tie it up. 8:34 left in the game. 3 tight ends, and Muncie's going to go in. Touchdown. That's the play they wanted to use to go to the direction of the 2 tight ends, Hardy and Williams, and this time it worked.
Off-tackle play, good blocking. Muncie's power, scores easily.
For Muncie, his 9th rushing touchdown of the year. Now, of course, the all-important point. And remember, New Orleans had Yepremian miss a field goal inside the 30. He doesn't do that very often, and that really is the difference now.
And, you know, Archie Manning's recover of Muncie's fumble was a big play in this drive.
And how? So Muncie TD. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, they are working now on Boyd. And, of course, we mentioned Dennis Boyd is hurting. Bill Cook is out. Bill Gregory sprained his knee, but he's playing. So the front 4 are taking quite a beating for Seattle. 74 is Tuiasosopo. 71 is Eller. 77 is Gregory. And that's Dennis Boyd. Boyd out of Oregon State. And very slowly getting up. He's a big man. He's 6 feet 6 inches. 255. And a little wobbly as he goes out.
I think, man, he's a better man on the inside than he is on the outside. I think he'd be a better tackle than a defensive end because his characteristics and everything are a little bit more suited. You have to be a little bit quicker to play the outside to rush the passer.
So now the all-important point after for Garo Yepremian. Coming in, he was 24 out of 25, and he has kicked those that he has been asked to kick today. The spot, the kick, it's up, it is good. And so, with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in the ballgame, we have what it figured to be. 24-24, Seattle and New Orleans.
In the United States, Ford Fiesta was voted most significant import of the year.
Dag-nabbed if it don't stretch a gallon of gas better than any German import in America.
In Germany, Fiesta was voted car that makes the most sense.
Ford Fiesta comes from Germany with front-wheel drive.
In Italy, it was named most successful foreign car.
Lazarova, Sofia, Bambino, Mama, and Mia.
Ford Fiesta, honored the world over.
Ein Wundercar.
Julie ready to go?
Are you kidding? Hey, you want to play hockey? We got a new TV scoreboard game from Radio Shack.
Sure.
Radio Shack's fast-action TV games. Play hockey, tennis, squash, and more. Easy hookup to any TV.
I'm ready.
A great gift idea. And they're on sale. 6-game model, just $29.95. 4-game model, $19.95. An exciting entertainment bargain for year-round fun. The sale price TV games. Only at Radio Shack.
Thanksgiving Day at 12:30, the Chicago Bears invade Lion Country for a holiday showdown with Detroit. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, it figured to be a wild game, and it is. 24 all. 8:24 left in the game. Tony Green from his own end zone to the 15-yard line, to the 20, and down he goes at the 21-yard line. So Tony Green,
that's all right,
fielding the kickoff and returns it out beyond the 20-yard line. And Seattle, having just given up a touchdown because of the blocked punt, now trying to regroup and rally. 8:14 left in the game. 24-24 tie.
Well, here's a big series for Zorn now. They haven't done much this second half.
Zorn with a 1st and 10, the ball just shy of his own 23-yard line. Moore and Dornick, the running backs. McCullum right and Largent left. Play action fake to Dornick, and Zorn deep down the middle, and Felton is going to drop it. Eric Felton had an interception and couldn't hold on to it.
He had him covered. He's playing him loose. Actually, he played him the way he should. Here's another bomb, 1st and 10. Zorn's been very successful, 1st and 10, going deep on Felton. Now watch him overthrow the ball. Felton should have had this right in his hands. No chance for the receiver to get it.
The receiver, Steve Largent. And as you mentioned, Felton had been burned earlier both by Largent and McCullum. So he was a good 5 yards in front of Largent that time, and it almost paid off. 2nd and 10 on the 23. A 24-24 tie. 8 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. Zorn under some rush by Grooms. A little screen to Dornick. And I believe he just dropped it. I don't believe it was a completed pass. No pass. Pat Hughes broke it up and almost picked it off.
Exactly, Ben. That's just what I was going to say. Hughes came right in there, played that perfectly. Watch 54 come up. Took the blocker on, and the blocker hit the receiver. That's his experience playing that screen pass. He read it all the way. Nice play by Pat Hughes.
Here's a very big play for Jim Zorn now. 3rd and 10 from his own 23. If he can't budge and they have to punt, New Orleans will be in good field position. So a big one for Jim Zorn.
Let's see who he goes to here.
In motion is the tight end Pete. Zorn under some rushing, a wobbly pass to Peets, to the 35, to the 40, to the midfield.
You know what? That's what happens when you have a guy that they don't use. You cover 83, you cover 80 Largent. Now this is the tight end in motion. Nobody covered him.
Look at the pass.
Yeah, now he almost drops it. Now watch this. He stayed with it. Now he shows some powerful running. What a big play.
So Brian Peets handling a wobbly, almost an end-over-end dying bird thrown by Jim Zorn. And it's 1st and 10, a big play on the New Orleans 49. Zorn faking once, throws to Dornick, coming back. And Dornick is on his way to the 35-yard line. Myers brought him down at the 35.
Well, you know what he did? Smart. the last time we talked about Pat Hughes breaking up the screen. Now they fake that screen over there and throw a double screen against the grain and watch Dornick turn it on. Nice tackle by Myers.
So to the 35-yard line. Remember, it was 1st and 10 on the Seattle 23. Then they had that big 3rd and 10 play that made it to Peach. Now they have it 1st and 10 on the New Orleans 35. Zorn gonna go deep to Largent. He's got it. Touchdown. He beat Clarence Chapman.
Well, they dogged on it. One-on-one.
So Largent with his 2nd touchdown pass of the day, and he now has a half a dozen for the year.
One-on-one situation. Nice move. Largent has tremendous moves. See the dog? Becomes a one-on-one. A guy like Largent's tough to cover one-on-one because of his moves.
Well, we're just warming up. We have 6:16 left, and since that big pass for 35 yards puts Jim Zorn over 328 yards, he has now passed for 10,000 in his career. They should make the announcement in the ballpark as Herrera kicks it through.
Ben, and I believe what you said, there's only been a couple other quarterbacks that have done that.
That's right. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Joe Namath and Norm Snead are the other two.
A good quarterback does his homework on and off the field. That's probably why the three of us are all drinking light beer from Miller.
See, light's got a 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling. Plus, it tastes great.
And you know it's important to have a command of facts like that.
It's mental discipline, really. You're darn right.
Because if you know every position, every option, every formation, you'll never get your signals crossed.
Hey, that's my beer, Terry.
Oh, no, this is...
Yeah,
no, wait,
well,
this
wait
is...
wait a minute.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and
I
less.
didn't feel my label.
Next August, I'll be an air traffic controller. Guaranteed.
10 months from now, I'll be training in electronics. Guaranteed.
Even if you're still in school, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty, with your choice of training guaranteed in writing.
Next September, I'll be in Europe. Guaranteed.
This is the Army, and we're giving guarantees. Call this toll-free number now.
There they are on the left of the screen, Steve Largent. On the right, Jim Zorn. That combination just helped to go 77 yards for a touchdown. A 35-yard pass from Zorn to Largent gives the Seahawks a 31-24 lead with 6 minutes and 16 seconds left. Quite a ball game as Efren Herrera kicking off. Wes Chandler is deep. He has Wilson and Holmes up in front of him. Herrera signals he's ready. And it's an onside kick. It is still loose, and it is still loose, and Seattle recovers. Recovered, I believe, by Michael Jackson. Yep, number 55. Michael Jackson recovered the onside kick. Herrera is now 3 out of 4 of onside kicks this year, and 7 of 11 in the last 2 years.
He had to have a little luck on that one.
So Michael Jackson falling on the loose ball, and Seattle pulls the onside kick and gets away. Steve Rabel injured on the play. Injury apparently to the right arm.
Well, there's so many people going for the ball, it's easily to get injured on a play like that. It looked like the Saints had it at one time.
So Jackson recovered it, and Seattle has it 1st and 10. Just shy of their own 40-yard line.
2 gambles today, both paid off for Seattle.
6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. Here comes Moore. He has Newton out in front of him. And as he tries to get inside Newton, he is hit by 2 Saints, Tom Myers, along with Brown.
Ray Brown. Ray Brown, 27, does a heck of a job of forcing. They got him from Atlanta in a trade, and he gives them the physical type of safety that you need. I like him. He's a good football player.
You know, Joe Ferguson passed for 367 yards against the New York Jets. Zorn so far has passed for 360 yards. He has given up 18 yards in sacks. His previous record, 329. 2nd and 7 on the 43. Little swing to Dorning. And he gets to Featherspiel, who spins him around and decks him at the 45-yard line.
Nice play by Featherspiel. He cut back, and it looked like he was going to go against the grain. Featherspiel got him right around the waist and brought him down. Big play, because he could have broken that for some yardage.
But Dan Dornick, who was doubtful, is playing quite a ball game with bruised ribs.
This is a big series for the Saints defense here. They've got to stop him to give Manning some time.
3rd and 5. The ball is on the Seattle 45-yard line. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left.
They're going to run out of time, Vin.
Yeah, the 30-second clock is down to 6, and they call timeout. So Seattle calling a timeout, and Jim Zorn going over to Jack Patera. With 4:44 left, Seattle 31, New Orleans 24.
October 25th, 1854. The British Light Brigade is ordered to attack from the flanks, but muddled orders result in a frontal attack, wiping out half the brigade. Someone was not listening. July 2nd, 1863. Confederate General Longstreet misinterprets General Lee's orders to attack, advancing 3 hours too late. A listening error that may have altered the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. The fact is, whether it be in battle, government, or industry, not knowing how to listen has always been one of man's greatest problems. And we at Sperry feel it's high time we recognized it, that we set up listening programs in our schools and businesses. And lest we forget how critical a problem it is, all we need do is look to the night of April 14th, 1912, when the crew of the Titanic was urgently warned of ice, but chose not to listen. Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
Guess who's coming to dinner tonight?
Me, Dad.
The whole family's back for Thanksgiving, and have they got news?
I was fired, Arch.
A special 1-hour Archie Bunker's place tonight.
Seattle 3rd and 5 on its own 45, leading 31-24, and 4 minutes and 44 seconds left. We conduct in a final. Tampa Bay 31, the Giants 3. So 3rd and 5 for Jim Zorn. In motion is Largent. Zorn rolling right down the sideline. The catch is made and knocked out of bounds is Jesse Green, but no good. There's a flag on the play as well.
Zorn wanted to throw short on it. He wanted to hit Largent, and it could be the offensive man pushed off. Let's see that. Well, we can't see it now.
The flag came long before any contact.
Yeah, I think the offensive receiver pushed off of the defensive man. Here it is. Now you see 80 going short. That's who he wants. He's contained here. He can't run. He throws deep. That's what it is.
So that's a big play to go against Seattle. It was a 3rd and 5. Jack Patera, implacable as he looks on. 31-24 Seattle, 4 minutes and 37 seconds left.
Interference number 86, offense, still 3rd down.
So it was Jesse Green, the pass receiver, guilty of the interference. That moves the ball back to the 35-yard line. 10-yard penalty to make it 3rd and 15. 4:37. Now David Gray comes in, and they take Brown out.
And you know, Ben, right here, the pass rush is more important than anything else. The good pressure. Let's see who Zorn tries to go to.
Dornink and Moore out of the eye behind Zorn. McCullum in a slot left inside Largent. Play action fake to Moore. Zorn throwing on the run, and it will be broken up. It was deflected by Tom Myers. It was intended for Steve Largent, and it was Myers who got his hand up. He's quite a ball player. That guy.
He is. He's a good, steady safety. When we did the Saints game, he didn't play against the Rams. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They missed him. Zorn went to his favorite receiver, Largent. He was covered, but they also had good pressure on him. He had to throw off balance.
So even though Seattle was thwarted, having cashed in on the onside kick, nevertheless, they bought some time now. Weaver, who's had one blocked, is going to pass out of the punt formation to Rival. And Rival was tackled at the 40-yard line. How about those gambles?
3 gambles. 3.
Herman Weaver is 3 for 3 this year in passing out of punt formation.
Boy, oh boy. Look at that.
Look at that.
Wide open.
And Steve Rival, who had been injured on the onside kick, is finally brought down by Schwartz. What a gamble, and it paid off. And it is 1st and 10 on the New Orleans 40-yard line.
Boy, does the defense hate that? They've made a great series. They stopped them. Now they're back on the field again.
And they gambled 3rd and 15.
Boy, oh boy.
So 1st and 10 on the New Orleans 40-yard line. McCullum is in motion to the right. Second man is Dornink, and there he goes. Dornink might very well have picked up the first down as he is tackled just shy of the 30-yard line, and I believe he did.
Really, that's what they should do now is grind it out. Don't take any chances. Give the ball to their most reliable back. Keep the clock running.
That's what they did last week against Cleveland. Seattle held the ball for something like 7 minutes, just grinding it out, and Cleveland couldn't get their hands on it. Actually, 7 minutes and 29 seconds they held the ball, and thanks to the onside kick, they're trying to do it today on an onside kick and a pass out of a punt formation, and meanwhile they're getting very close to Efrain Herrera's home territory. 1st and 10 from the 30. With 3:10 left in the game, 31-24 Seattle. Dornink straight ahead into a crowd. Reese and Bennett among others tying him up.
You know, a 10-point lead would be hard to overcome with this time element on the clock. You know, the other gamble, of course, was that 4th and 1. So they had 3 big gambles, all in their end of the field. Everyone paid off.
They had a 3rd and 10 on their own 23, and remember the pass to the tight end Brian Peets. That was a big play.
Yeah.
So Seattle pulling them out of a hat here today and tormenting New Orleans 31-24. 2nd and 9, the ball on the 29 of New Orleans, and as you can see, 2:20 left in the game. Largent in motion. Second man is Moore. Can't find it inside, tries to go outside, and Hughes and Bennett bring him down.
You know, now on that last play, nobody covered Largent short again. Largent went in motion. It'll be interesting to see if they use that to pick up the first down.
We don't have the actual time, but Seattle has had the ball just short of 10 minutes in this final quarter.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Timeout gives us a chance to remind you about Monday night on CBS. Peanuts Gang and the award-winning special, A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Then MASH, there's trouble when Hawkeye and BJ are caught behind enemy lines. And don't forget Shirley MacLaine and Anne Bancroft in The Turning Point, nominated for 11 Academy Awards. Monday night at 9, 8 Central and Mountain. Tomorrow night on CBS.
You know, Ben, the strategy here is, do you go for a pass and try to pick up the first down, or do you take a safe play, give the ball to Dornink, pick up what you can, and kick a field goal? That's the strategy that Seattle is talking over now. Defensively, here's Dick Nolan and his gang talking, hey, what do we have to stop? You see? Personally, I would take a safe play and try to kick a field goal for a 10-point lead rather than gamble for the first down on a pass, maybe have it picked off, figuring 10 points would win the game.
Of course, you said rather than gamble, and that certainly has not been Seattle's story. There's a man, we should put him on a plane and send him to Vegas, because he has been rolling dice, pulling the ace out of the pack, and he is leading 31-24 with 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and of course that's head coach Jack Patera of Seattle.
And
Seattle,
go ahead, excuse me.
I was just going to say, had a magnificent Monday night game with Atlanta, and this is the kind of a game they're playing again.
Very similar.
3rd and 8 on the New Orleans 28. In motion is McCollum. Zorn just did get away. Passes to Moore. Moore is inside the 15-yard line, down to the 11.
Yeah. He was almost sacked. Good rush. Got it away. Nobody covered Moore short. Let's see if we can see that again.
So from a 3rd and 8, they go to 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. Seattle 31, New Orleans 24.
Motorcraft battery, it's all right. Saved my life one dreadful night when I told Big Dutch I want to fight. He said, how about now? He broke a table over a chair. I went from a coupe to go anywhere. My lights had been on while I was there. Motorcraft, don't fail me now. I turned the key as it came to the door. My Motorcraft made the engine roar. Then I heard Big Dutch as he stamped and swore. Gonna get me a Motorcraft battery for sure. Motorcraft, for sure.
The world's most advanced twin-blade razors are only as careful, gotcha, as you are. The Norelco rechargeable rotary razor has 36 surgical steel blades, carefully protected by 3 floating heads, and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave wherever you are, without a nick or a cut. The choice is yours. The close, careful Norelco rechargeable rotary razor, or 2 blades and gotcha.
Early today, the Ayatollah Khomeini talked to an American newsman about the hostages for the first time since the crisis began in Iran. You'll see it tonight. Mike Wallace interviews the Ayatollah Khomeini tonight on CBS 60 Minutes. And by the way, for the viewers in the New Orleans area, 60 Minutes will be seen right after the game. For our West Coast viewers, 60 Minutes will be seen at its normal 7 p.m. time. So here come the Seattle Gamblers. 1st and 10 on the 11. They ought to be on a riverboat the way they've been playing today. Largent in motion to the left. Zorn faking to Dornick, gives to Moore with Newton and Zornick blocking, and Jeff is down to the 5-yard line. And we should tell you a little bit about Jeff Moore. He has caught 2 passes for 41 yards, and he has carried the ball 15 times for 69 yards. He is the biggest single surprise to come out of the game today.
He's done the job for him. Really impressive.
He's a rookie out of Jackson State. We'd like to thank our producer, Perry Smith, our director, Tony Verna, Dr. Bob Woods for all of his statistical help, Gary Moore helping us up here in the booth. Seattle leading New Orleans, 31-24. 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Zorn, play action to Dornick, and now he rolls, passing to Peets. Touchdown, Brian Peets, the tight end.
Listen, Peets showed us something there. With hands like that, he made a great catch. Watch this catch. Play action, fakes a fast trap, rolls out to his left because he's left-handed. Watch this catch.
His first touchdown catch of the year.
Oh, boy.
Great well, that catch. Makes it 37-24 Seattle, and time has just about run out on New Orleans now with 1 minute and 6 seconds. Brian Peets catching the touchdown, and now here's Herrera's point after. Zorn holding, and it's good. So with 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the game, the Seattle Seahawks, who did not score in the 3rd quarter, lead 38-24.
America, the world is waiting.
Healthy spaces, glowing faces, a life that's full of life.
Your world is waiting, and Visa is there.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're giving more to life.
Wherever life...
Ramada O'Harian in Chicago. He puts a lot of emphasis on people. He even lives here in his own apartment. And because this Ramada is also Carl Hurd's home, travelers find it's a nice place for them to live, too.
Nice people taking care of nice people. Ramada, all over the world.
Seattle leading New Orleans 38-24 with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. The touchdown pass. What a day for Jim Zorn. 23 out of 34 for 384 yards and 4 touchdowns. Herrera knuckles one on the ground, and it's fielded there by the end, Williams, and he brings it back to the 48-yard line.
Well, you know, this is a great victory for Seattle, assuming they win. They probably will. It's a tough loss for the Saints. They've played well enough to win, and New Orleans is such a great sports town that they really support this team.
Tampa Bay defeated the Giants 31-3. That's a final. And look at Houston, leading Cincinnati 35-21 with first-string quarterbacks hurt in that game. San Diego ripping Pittsburgh 35-7. In a must game for San Diego. Archie Manning has 1 minute and 1 second left. Over the middle to Henry Childs, and it's broken up. And of course, for New Orleans, all they can do now is go home and hope that Atlanta can upset the Rams tomorrow night.
That's right. They really had to win this with their remaining schedule to stay in there, and they played well enough to win. I think the big thing that beat them today was penalties in critical situations.
And the fact that in the fourth quarter, Seattle wouldn't give them the ball. We understand that Seattle has held the ball for over 12 minutes of the final quarter.
I'll bet that's a league record.
Final score, Kansas City 24, Oakland 21. 2nd and 10 for Manning. Little swing to Galbraith, chased by Eller. Bumped by Pulowski, and inside the 40 before he is brought down by Tuiasosopo and Keith Simpson.
Boy, these backs, Galbraith and Muncie, run well. We talked about having a lot of missed tackles, and they're the type of backs that make tackling look feeble.
For Dick Nolan and company, a most discouraging day because their schedule is so difficult. They more or less figured they had to win this one. They have still to play Seattle, Oakland. Well, Seattle's almost over and they're going to lose. Then they have Oakland and San Diego. And New Orleans has the worst interconference record of any team in the NFL. They will lose today. That means they will have won 3 and lost 24 to the AFC.
Well, you know, Jack Patera and his staff made some clutch calls today. Gambles, everyone came through, and that was really the difference. The Saints, on the other hand, played well enough, but the breaks went against them in the penalties. Now, most of the penalties that were called that we reran on the replay were there. The holding penalties were there. But many times the officials might not see them and call them. So part of it is the element of luck.
And the first time New Orleans got the ball, remember? 3 electrifying plays they scored. But here they are buried now, 38-24 with 46 seconds left. Manning under a rush by Tuiasosopo, throws to Childs, and Henry is inside the 15-yard line as Cornell Webster brings him down at the 14. We have 34 seconds, 33, and they're going to have to hurry up to get a play off. Naturally, Seattle taking plenty of time getting back into position. 22 seconds left. Manning, play action fake to Galbraith. And he's going to be buried by Hardy and Tuiasosopo. He threw the ball, but according to the rules, he was in the grasp of the tackler, and the play was blown dead. A final score, San Diego 35, Pittsburgh 7.
You know, Ben, you were talking about the clock running down there. Manning, after that completion to Childs, should have used his timeout. He wasted about 15, 17, 18 seconds there. Getting set, getting his offensive team set. No sense in saving that timeout when you're behind like this. Use it, save the time, use as much time, save as much time as you have. Don't worry about the timeouts because you need 2 scores to get back in anyway.
And talking about time, we are not going to waste any. As soon as the ball game is over, you folks in the New Orleans area will see 60 Minutes, a most important program it is indeed tonight. And for those of you on the West Coast, of course, 60 Minutes will be seen at its regular time. 38-24 in favor of Seattle. For Jim Zorn and Jack Patera, a big victory and a heartbreaking defeat for Archie Manning and Dick Nolan. And a most exciting game for the big crowd here at the Kingdome. For the Seahawks, They must be delighted to play so well because the last time they played at home, things were so dismal. You remember they couldn't get a plus yardage against the Los Angeles Rams, and today they've gone wild.
Minus 7 yards.
2nd and 17 from the 21 for Archie Manning with 13 seconds left. Manning looking and throwing in the end zone. No good. Chandler almost picked it off. It was intended for Ike Harris. That stops the clock with 6 seconds left. So Archie Manning came in here having completed 67 of his last 100 passes. But today, just a little bit better than 50%. 16 out of 26 for 249 yards and 1 touchdown.
Usually it's good enough to win.
There was also a breakdown up front because Manning was sacked 3 times today, and he had not been sacked in a while. In fact, only once in the last 5 games. 3rd and 17 from the 21. This will probably be the last play. Over the middle to Muncy, chased by Butler, and he's going to go down at about the 6, losing the ball out of bounds inside the 5. The clock says the game is over. So from the Kingdome in Seattle, this is Vin Scully along with George Allen. Hope you enjoyed the fireworks. Seattle down 7-0 in the early going, exploded for 38 points and defeat New Orleans 38-24. And so the Rams now have a chance to take a game lead tomorrow night. The NFL on CBS, a presentation of CBS Sports.
This is CBS.